Hey Rihanna, I just want to let you know that you took away my one only excuse, which was the fact that I'm ugly, because now with this concealer, hello Rihanna, can I please have my edges back? Hey Rihanna, is it possible that you can help me file my taxes this year? Hello Rihanna, I still have a little bit of school date. Would you mind helping a sister out? Hey Rihanna, yes, I have to go to Guyana to visit my mother soon. Is it possible that you could help a sister buy her ticket? Even better than I was the last time, baby.
We back.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Nicolah. If you are new, hey, how you doing? Thank you so much for being here. And if you're old, you already know what it is. Thank you so much for stopping by. So for today's video, I will be doing a first impressions kind of review style video on the new Fenty Pro Concealer. So it is officially the Pro Filt'r Instant Retouch Concealer, and it comes in 50 shades. Awesome. Okay, just awesome. And I ended up picking up the shade 370. I know that sounds crazy if some of you do remember my Pro Filt'r foundation shade, but if you watch the rest of the video, I do explain why I ended up at 370. You know, it was a matter of undertones at the end of the day. And I also did a first impression on the Unveil Lina. What was I saying? What? Unveil shade of the Lip Stunna paint, okay? Think I got it all together. I ended up picking up the brown because I was looking for a true brown for a really long time, and someone had suggested that her Lip Stunna paints just don't move. They're potent AF, and if you're looking for a true brown, to grab the brown from that collection. And by God, okay, by God, like Rihanna wasn't playing with no one's edges this year. She just decided to come shit on us and leave and go back to Barbados and hide out somewhere. If you want to see my thoughts, final reviews, cons, pros, if you want to see anything I have to say on the concealer and the foundation, make sure to stay tuned. All right guys, so there's a couple items in the Fenty line that I either didn't pick up for its own reason or I just didn't already own. So I know the primer has been out for some time, but my skin is really funky and I'm balling on all types of budgets. Every budget known to man. Adulting is hard. So for various reasons, I don't have the Fenty primer, but I do have a primer that I think works really well with it on my skin. And it is the MAC Prep and Prime Skin Visage. I had just went to Sephora and stole a bunch of these little tiny ones. I ain't really steal them. I just, you know, begged the lady for like a handful. Cause you know, balling on all types of budgets. So I'm going to use this for my primer today. I really find that I don't need to use a lot of this primer. It works with pretty much every foundation in my collection. I know I look crazy right now, but I'm going to take my time and just massage that into the skin, and I try to focus it right here, especially in the center of my face, because I do get smile lines like a mug. This primer is also really nice if you have like large ass pores like I do, or pores that just don't, you know, give it a rest. My pores never give it a rest, especially in the summer times when they're open and most active. So I really like this primer because it tends to blur everything, kind of smooth everything out underneath your makeup, you know, for a more flawless application and finish. So for foundation, you guys already know I am using the Fenty foundation in the shade 420. I will link my initial review of this foundation up, but since trying it, I've loved it ever since. I've had no problems with the foundation. It is one of my favorites. It fits that soft matte, demi matte finish that I really, really like. And I love the undertones of this foundation. I just want to apologize from now, guys. I also live near an elementary school, and it's around that time where they're out for lunch in the courtyard. And, you know, kids in the hood like to scream like they have no sense. So they're gonna be all over the video, unfortunately. I really like the undertone of this foundation because I find that even though I might find my shade fairly easy, the undertone is always wacky. Either I'm looking super olive or super red, and obviously I have super, super yellow and golden undertones. So I like things to be on the warmer, neutral yellow side. Anything within that realm, anything outside of that makes me look kind of funky. And for application, I'm actually gonna switch things up, and I'm going to use my Luxie Duo Fiber Powder Brush, but it's a stippling brush, and I think stippling brushes work really well with liquid foundations. So we're going to use this to apply today. Do you guys see that? You can't. Right, because it's my freaking shade. Only downside to this brush is the physical size of the brush. So it does take longer to actually blend your face, but the application is flawless. I'm actually just gonna add the foundation directly to my face. One of my initial loves of this foundation was, and I forgot how much I really loved it until I'm reapplying it right now, is how skin-like it looks. Like, it gives you definitely a your skin but better look. Like, I stand corrected with that, for real. Like, this looks, come on, Rihanna. In addition to the 40 shades that were already in existence, Rihanna did add some new shades to her foundation line in addition to the launch of her concealers. I'm gonna add a little more of the foundation on my brush just to bring it down to my neck a little bit. I also love how light feeling this foundation feels. You know, even though I'm adding another layer or an extra layer over certain parts of my face, it still doesn't feel heavy or cakey. Like, I love that about this foundation. All right, so some information on the concealer. So the concealers claim to be a creamy, long wear, crease-proof liquid concealer that delivers light as air, medium to full coverage, and a groundbreaking range of 50 soft matte shades. So they do recommend that you purchase the concealer that directly matches your foundation shade. Now, they might not match, they don't match color-wise on the scale, but for example, I wear 420 in the Fenty Pro Filt'r. So in the concealer, my best bet would have been 420 because it said that that shade would best complement that foundation shade. However, when I went into Sephora, 420, 410, 400, 390, 380, they all had weird pinkish undertones. And as we all know, I don't like to have pink on my face. Like, I'm not pink, I ain't white. That don't make sense. And me having a pink undertone doesn't make sense. I like my concealers to either be neutral or really golden. To be honest, if I'm using the concealer to highlight, I like it to be super yellow and golden. That's why I bake with banana powders and things of that nature. So a lot of the shades, 390, 380, they were the same concealer shade, but different undertones. So even though 420 would have been my best bet, I ended up going really high on the scale and I ended up picking up 370. I loved the color of 390 and 380. I liked the color, but the undertone, something was definitely off. It was a little pinkish and I just wasn't feeling it, especially for $26. I have to love it to spend $26 on one little small container. I got to love it. So for the sake of color, just strictly color and undertone, I ended up picking up 370 in the concealer. I'm hoping to God that I didn't make a dreadful mistake, guys. I'm just gonna apply a little bit of this guy. Because it is so light, I'm only gonna apply a little bit. Whew. Oh, she's yellow, all right. She's yellow. She is extremely creamy, like extremely. This is probably the most creamy consistency from a concealer that I have ever felt personally. It is extremely creamy. It is true to the name, and sometimes creamy corresponds with creasy. So let's hope in this case that that's not a thing. I definitely don't like the smell. I don't like the smell. It smells like kitty paint. It smells like Halloween makeup. I don't like that. I don't like that. Let's get her done. Do you guys see that? Do you guys see how lovely this is blending into the foundation? Just look at my nose, just the nose. Bomboclat, what's going on? Blendability, this is blending out wonderfully. I'm not struggling to blend it into the foundation. I'm not sure if it's because I'm using the Fenty foundation. I will be trying this concealer with other foundations to kind of give you guys a better gist, but so far it is doing the damn thing. The creaminess is translating into smooth, which is good, which is a very, very good sign. My only con so far is definitely the smell. It's not a strong smell, but if you intentionally sniff it, yeah, I'm not a fan. It's a no for me, dog. Do y'all see that? Oh, Rihanna. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, Rihanna. Gosh darn it. I can't ever use the excuse I'm ugly anymore. Do y'all see this? So this is the concealer on top of the foundation, fully blended, guys. So far, I am loving it. Like I said, the only con that I have so far is the smell. And to be honest, it's not even that big of a con. Like, I don't hate the smell, it's just that I intentionally shoved my nostrils in it just for the sake of telling you guys how it smells. In reality, like, I have no bad words to say about this concealer. All right, guys, so I'm gonna go off camera and finish the rest of my face, and I'm gonna come back to give you my final thoughts on how I think the concealer worked with the rest of my face and the other products that I'm gonna use, and I'll let you know if it's worth your coins or not. Okay, so before we fully finish off the look, I did the rest of my face off camera, but my lip is also a First Impressions and a Fenty product. I've never gotten any of the Fenty Stunna lip paints. They just didn't seem worth $26. I'm gonna be real with you guys. Like, I was here for the foundation in the beginning. I was here for the foundation. I was here for the inclusivity and everything of the sort, but paying $26 for a liquid lipstick just wasn't really sitting well with me in the beginning when they first launched. Then I saw them on someone and then I was just like, ugh. I'm gonna line my lips with a little bit of my favorite lip liner and fill in with the Stunna lip paint. The packaging, I'm really here for the packaging. Not sure about the applicator though. I think that's my one con about this product. Not personally sure if I love the applicator, but other than that, I'm here for practically everything else. All right, guys, and this is the finished look. So as for color of the concealer, love the color, love the golden undertone of it all. There are a lot of shades to choose from. Like I said, I skipped a lot because they had pink undertones, and personally that's not my favorite, but that doesn't mean the product was bad. I just didn't like those undertones. As for performance, the coverage, I really love the coverage. I skipped over Rihanna's powder because, to be honest, while doing some research, it just was making actually the concealer look bad. When I went to Sephora, the associate explained to me that her creasing was actually caused by the powder and not the concealer. When she wore the concealer on its own, it performed wonderfully, and then that time when she had combined it with the powder, something funky was going on. And in my research of the products, I was realizing other influencers and other people were saying that something funky was happening with the powder. So I just didn't even waste my money on it or just risked it in general. So on its own, I think the concealer is performing wonderfully. It blended wonderfully on top of the foundation. This lip paint, I am here for it. This true brown, like, I don't own any brown lipstick or any true brown like this, so I'm just really excited that I purchased this and picked this up. Other than that, guys, I'm loving everything. I just keep looking down at the mirror because I'm just loving how this concealer looks. It doesn't look creased up. I did set it with some powder. I did set it with my Sacha Buttercup Banana Powder. You guys already know that's my holy grail powder. And I set the rest of my face with my Black Radiance Soft Focus Powder. So I feel like the powders didn't really affect or deter the performance of the products too much because I don't see any creasing happening, and it took me a minute to finish the rest of my face. I had some lash problems. Okay, so the time it took for me to finish the rest of my face, manipulate the rest of my face, no creasing has happened so far. I'm just really loving how everything looks melted together, and I definitely think it is worth the $26, guys. If you want to know all the other products I used on my face, whether it be lashes, bronzer, contour, whatever, make sure to check in the description box below. Like, subscribe, share with your peeps. And until next time, you guys, peace.
Turn up.